Violet might actually be on the back foot at this point. He's got no mining going on. Finally, an observer that was kind of like local the entire time is coming in. A very errant storm followed by a decent storm. But there are still probably 20 Goliaths back there off of camera, and so really Light is in great position at this point. I don't know how Light got himself into this position, because for like the last 5 minutes I was thinking that even with all the things that were going right for Light, Violet still has to have this game. But now that he lost so many carriers to those cloaked wraiths, and he's got no more carrier production, he's kind of screwed. And if Light can actually protect this bottom right base that it looks like Violet's going towards right now, Light could take the upper hand in this game and perhaps even win this game. But Violet's coming in not just with the carriers, but also with the Dragoons and even some like Archons and random crap that he found around his base, and going to take that down in a matter of seconds. Oh, this is amazing. There's no mining whatsoever going on at this point. It looks like Light was not able to try to reestablish the 12 o'clock when Violet was moving down to the bottom right. So neither player is mining at all, and this might just be like a battle of attrition, an elimination race. This could be like one of those games that goes down in history. I'm not sure yet. It looks like some distance mining is going on for Light. I haven't seen Violet even attempt to mine in the last like 5 minutes. He's got like all his probes grouped around a pylon. They're going to try to mine that because, you know, it is just one giant crystal. But Light is actually reestablishing the 12 o'clock, and what is he doing? He's SCV transferring where? I'm confused.
He's SCVing transfer to attack. He's going to try and force those carriers home. Look at that. He's going to take down that cannon with SCVs and just start manhandling all the buildings and start putting Violet into elimination contention. I think that's going to be the plan here, at least for a little bit. Use this one Vulture and a bunch of SCVs, I guess. But I gotta say that I don't think Light is legitimately in this game. And here's why. What is the cheapest Protoss unit to produce mineral-wise? Observers. Cheaper than probes, cheaper than High Templar. He can just spam observers, and the only hope that Light has at this point, because he obviously does not have a huge bank right now, is cloaked wraiths, catching carriers without observers, and you know what? He doesn't have scans. He's got one command center living right now, and it doesn't have a comsat station on it. And you can see, I believe 5, 6 observers, something like that, are around those carriers of Violet, so I don't really think that Light has much of a chance of this. I think Light is staying in here thinking that maybe hoping, praying that Violet maybe didn't have the money to produce observers, and in that case he might be able to cloak up his wraiths and pick off the carriers one by one later and just start trying to like dodge storms, that sort of thing. But I don't think Light knows that that there's this many observers. There's a lot of observers around, and it looks like there just are not enough scans available for Light to deal with this. So whenever Light eventually decides to engage this carrier force with his cloaked raids, I think that's when we'll see GG, because the observers will be alive. There's just no way that Light's going to be able to pick them all off. Although he's doing a pretty good job here. It looks like he picked off 2 or 3, but there's still a couple left. There you can see a couple around the map, one in the middle, one towards the 6 o'clock. You know, there's more than enough still hanging around. So this game's going to continue on for a little bit longer, it looks like. I'm just waiting to see when Light decides to engage.
Yeah, I have to say, I don't know where Light sent his Goliaths. Light had a huge, absolutely huge Goliath army, and now it just really disappeared, and the only thing he's got going for him are those SCVs, and that very last pocket of Goliaths he has, which is moving to the middle of the map, and there they are. They're just shooting down these targets, and this is definitely gonna be an elimination race. Light is just aiming to kill as many beauties as he can, using whatever units he has, because earlier he was making command centers and trying to reestablish an economy, which I believe is a mistake, because those carriers just they might be slow, but they're just unstoppable. And really, just spending those 400 minerals on command centers was just a pretty bad mistake, I believe. He's actually making a command center. Oh, he's making a command center at his old main base, so he can use the comsat station there to get to see the observers. So, wow, Light is actually gonna try and snipe all of the observers, which is the only thing keeping which is one of the most crucial units Violet has right now. And looks like, oh man, Light's units are gonna get sniped in the air. But man, Violet's just got so many observers. And if I don't know if Light's going to be successful. I believe that Light should actually focus more on taking down Violet's base, because there's nothing else you can do. You cannot kill those carriers. Well, you can. It's just extremely hard. But you can either kill the carriers, which is really hard, or you can try and go for an elimination race, which I believe would be the wiser decision. But well, Light's gonna try and kill those carriers, I think. So good luck to you, Light.
Alright, so now it looks like Violet's coming back to destroy this pesky force that's been in his main for a while, and really he was in no danger of elimination because, you know, Vultures and SCVs alike both take out buildings extremely slowly, and Violet's just has such a superior force that it's going to be really difficult for Light. Alright, this is kind of like a last-ditch effort, and to comment on what Goose said, like, really, there were 20 Goliaths. I believe I was talking when we first saw them. Like, what happened? I know like 2 or 3 of them got stormed. I guess they must have engaged some Dragoons. Oh no, an Observer spots them. Luckily, Observer speed is not up, but, oh, and the scan goes off and actually manages to pick off that Observer, so that scan doing its duty. I don't know if scan, I don't know how many scans he's got. I would assume that he's got 3 left. That it was at 200 out of 200. So he's got plenty. He's still got 3 scans, but it's going to be really crucial because he's not going to get any more anytime soon. And still trying to eliminate the main base. All the buildings that remain is 1 Stargate up at the mineral only, and then all the buildings. And there's just still a huge amount of buildings in the main base. So Light's options are to either kill all of Violet's forces, which is going to be really hard. Even if he can snipe all those carriers, he doesn't have enough left to deal with all of the Dragoons. So that's looking terrible for him. And at this point, when he's only got Wraiths and a couple of Vultures, and that 1 Comsat station, that's all he really has going for him. And nothing to indicate that he has enough money to build any more Goliaths or any more tanks. And he's lifting off that command center to try to run it. Maybe he can go try to get some mining at the 12 o'clock, but if that command center goes down, then it's pretty much curtains for Light. I don't know what happened to his Goliaths yet again, but it looks like Violet's going to take this game. Although a mine just went off and damaged a couple of Dragoons. Too bad there's not some more mines to finish them off. So the command center does go down, and I think with that it's curtains for Light. The MBC side not looking very happy about that command center going down, and they can feel GG is coming. There's just so, like, Vultures and Wraiths just don't deal damage to buildings. If only buildings were in the air, maybe Wraiths would be effective, but it's probably going to be GG any second now. Although Light is gonna stay in the game as long as he has any hope of survival, and it's still possible if Violet critically mismanages this, like tries to eliminate. If he turns into an elimination race, then it's conceivable that Light could win. But it looks like Violet's going to leave a couple of Dragoons to kill the buildings and just use the rest of his force to go kill these Wraiths, kill these Vultures, and finally force Light into submission.